from this to this. Oh yeah. Hello, welcome back to RC Workshop. Guys, check it out. Today I have purchased a used Traxxas TRX4. I can't keep buying new ones because they sit on the shelf, I don't use them and I sell them. So I bought a used one, so I'll use it. But first, I can't do with all the dirt and grime and some of the mods on this truck, and they're literally, the tyres have got nothing in them inserts wise. Well, I think they've just disintegrated, I think, but everything works as it should. It is just absolutely riffy, so I'm just going to put it through one of my little cleaning things, show you a few steps along the way. Let's get this thing cleaned up real quick. First things first then, guys, as always, muck off release spray, dirt release spray, or a mountain bike dirt release spray, or even a car one if they do it. But literally soak this thing in, leave it to soak as well. Don't forget the body shell. Let's say we'll do some maintenance on this thing in a bit, but for now I've got to get it clean. I can't even work on it, it's that dirty. On the other side, just literally soak it in this stuff and leave it for a bit. And then underneath, I'm not even going to get the hose and spray down on this one. This is going to be a watering can job because there is that much dirt stuck to it and built up on it. I think it's just been took out, dirtied, took out and dirtied. It's like literally layered on there, so leave that to go. And then what we're going to do is cover it in some dishwasher soap, Fairy. So just cover it over a little bit like so. You don't need to get too mad because it is Fairy. A little bit more, soak that in. Then what you're going to want to do is get your brush, nice new brush, and if it's too loose, as you can see the length of the brush, you can cut it down so it gets stubborn at the bottom. Then literally just start working all that in, as you can see. And then what this is going to do, it's going to lather up with all the soap. Just keep going over it and over it and over it and over it until the whole thing is covered in white bubbles. I'll come back to you in a sec when it's absolutely covered in white bubbles. Let's go. It is that riffy. I'm going to have to take these wheels off. These wheels are going to soak, and as well as that, like I say, the foams have gone completely, so we're going to bake them off the wheels or boil them off the wheels, the tyres, and yeah, get them off, put some hairband foams in there. Let's go, let's just carry on. Like I say, we're still working all this in, letting it literally settle, as you can see, all that muck on there. Literally going to put the watering can full of water over this in a minute, and it'll already look like new for that, but we need to keep going over it because it is literally thick on there, all the shocks and everything else. These things are going to look like new when I've finished. Right then, so first quick swirl down to take some of them cleaning products off there. Once this is soaked in again, going to get it rubbed down again 3 or 4 times. Literally keep going over it until you got some nice black plastic going on, as you can see. Loads of dirt, and even if you had to bring the toothbrush out and go for it with a toothbrush, literally get this thing shop new if we can. I say just keep going over it. I ain't going to bore you too much, keep going back and forward. I'll come back to you when this thing is all dry and probably looking all scratched up and show you the next step. But it's a TRX4 under there, guys. Also going to take this chain off. That's just not me. So yeah, that's coming off. Might even take the bumpers off this one, so it's less weighty. Definitely going to chop the back off it as well. Take all the back wheel off and everything else. Put some new rims on it and get this thing on the trails. Right, it is really pelting it down with rain outside, but that's fine because we got the chassis done. Right now outside, the rain is helping to clean the body shell, so I'm going to give that a quick rub down. Let this dry in here, keep turning it over because we want it to dry nicely. It's in the conservatory as well. Charlie, the RC dog, wanting to get on the action, eh mate, eh? Yeah, let that thing dry off and then we'll put some magic lube all over it. And would you look at that, how incredible is that? So literally spray it down with a silicone protector spray, back to black or something like that, you know, bumper back. It's got like a silicone built into it. And what you do is get a nice dry brush and literally you soak it in that stuff. You can put just absolutely lash it on, and then literally spread it all around, and you'll see the plastics look like they've just come out of the shop. This thing looks absolutely mint for that. Look at this. Even on the bottom as well, you've obviously got your wear and tear scratches, but absolutely mint. And the body as well is just the same, so any fine scratches on the body, literally, we'll just... Ew, I ain't put one of these on for a while. Have we got it the wrong way around? No. There you go. Look at that body. Right, let's go upstairs to the RC workshop and get some nice new rims on this thing, because I know what I've got in mind for it. Right then, there you go then, guys. Look at that. That is tidy. Like I say, next thing for me is maintenance. I know I've just wet it down and only cleaned it up and stuff, so I've got to strip apart the gearbox, the portal axles, and grease all them and that. I'm not going to bore you with that part of the video. I'll sit down and do that in my own time in a bit. So the next choice, now we have got it clean, is rims. Obviously, you can see I've got some eBay specials on there with 1.9 tyres on there as well. Them are 1.9s. Or this is, I've been waiting to put these onto something. These are 2.2 four-wheel drive octanes. These RC four-wheel drive octanes. These are all milled aluminium. You got the little caps on there as well that pop off. These are really, really, really nice diamond cut alloy wheels. Worth an absolute fortune as well. They will help it crawl better as well. Being 2.2s, they will be really nice on the rocks. The only slight issue is, let's flip it round, put the body on. With the 1.9s, which is what it's got on at the minute, put the body shell on there roughly. The body shell is roughly on there. Just take my word for it. Like, the 1.9s look good size wise, and at the minute plenty of room in the arches. But then you flip it around to the 2.2s, and this way the cap's falling off at the minute. Them need all little bolts in all the way around, which are a pain in the arse. But still, let's take them off a sec. That's it with 2.2 rims on. Not as much room in the arches, and it just get caught up a little bit there. But what I can do is lift this body shell up a bit, and if I'm taking all this mess off the top and shortening it and taking all the weight off the back, I can afford to lift that body shell up a bit, which is going to give me more room in the arches. As well as that, guys, I think I'm going to get rid of all this big weighty bumper on the front. It'll just get hung up on it and everything else. So literally a few bolts, and you can take that bumper right off and give yourself a lot more clearance. Again, that's high up weight as well. What we want is weight really down there on the axles. But what do you think? That is really, I'm happy with that. 2.2s or 1.9s. I can even as well put some extenders on so that these 2.2s stick out a little bit more as well. Let's have a look imagine what that would look like with the shell on. Put the shell on like so. So they would stick out just a little bit more than that. Maybe, maybe not, I'm not sure. But hey, this thing's clean now. Like I say, next real job for me is to just maintain it, give it some good maintenance, take all the diffs apart, give everything a good greasing, so I'm happy with it. Make sure as well, because I like to take mine in water, that radio box is sealed. I do that with every model, whether it's second hand or new. I'll always check whether that is completely sealed. Maybe go brushless on it as well. I'm really into the Hobbywing Fusion system, so that should definitely go in there. And whether to just lock it all up like a sport, because I did pick this up nice and cheap. Guys, you ready for this? £260 in the UK. This was ready to run. The remote's on the floor down there as well. How good is that, guys? Can't complain at that. This thing has come up really nice. And I'll tell you what as well, what I could do is, I could even just put the original wheels back on if I wanted to. The foams have gone in them because I think someone must have got them wet and left them wet. Literally, all we got to do is boil them rims and tyres in hot water for a while, and you'll be able to, the glue bead will drop out. Then you can just put some nice new hairband foams in there, you know, the hairband scrunchy donut things that everyone's using. Drop them in there as well. But I'm over the moon with that. Looks like we need a little clip for the bottom of the shock there as well. That's missing, but everything else is all the way around. This has come up really nice, guys. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Do I stick with the 2.2s and lift the shell up a bit? Or do I go with the 1.9s and leave as is? I really wouldn't mind some 2.2s on this, guys. Let me know what you think below. Happy with that though. Probably one of the cheapest second-hand full TRX4s on the market, and I managed to get it at a scoop. Let's say cleaned it up really, really nice. It ain't really seen that much use either. You can usually tell by the bottom. Normally these plates on the bottom and all these, it's in a few hours obviously, but I am happy with that. Might just keep it all nice and stock as well, and just literally start running it into the ground one or the other. Or do I just bling it up and sit it on the shelf like the others? No, no, no. This TRX4 is going to get used. Because I picked it up so cheap, I can afford to use it and trash it. Yeah. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Wow. I am happy with that. Woohoo. TRX4, baby. Right then, there you go, guys. I am sticking with the 2.2s. They look absolutely mint. Raise the shell up a bit. Gonna take the bits off the back to reduce the weight on the back. But other than that, you got full steering. Also done the bumper delete. That has gone. Looks a lot better. So it's gonna look a load better, and it's gonna perform a lot better as well. With all that junk off the back. As much as it's nice having a spare wheel and cans and looking good, that is actually putting a lot of weight. In fact, probably switch to second gear and get a bit of a wheelie out of this. Watch this. Hang on. There you go. That is down to the weight on the back. I am sticking with them 2.2s, guys. They are going to tear up the trails. Anyway, if you like the video, see you on the next one. Woohoo! Oh! And there we have it, guys. I am happy with the way that came out. A couple of hours worth of work. Like I say, bit of maintenance to do on them diffs. And the gearbox and that, but I'm happy with that. The 2.2s look incredible on there. I say front bumper removed and all that junk off the back gone. I've kept the supports inside, so I've had to put the bolts back inside. That keeps that back bit from being all flappy. Got to raise this bumper up a little bit, raise these skirts up a little bit so they hold the body shell. But I'm happy with that. Let's see how them 2.2s perform. Not forgetting the 2.2s on the mauler work an absolute treat. So they've got no weights in at the moment. They're just two-stage foams inside, but I'm happy with the way that turned out. Bloody second-hand TRX4. Look at it. It's mint. Look at that. I sure know how to clean up a model, that's for sure. Woohoo!